6.5 down, 5.5 down, 9 forward.
Moving episode 2 starts with a flashback to December 2003 when Mi-hyun and Bong-seok moved into town. Even though Bong-seok was old enough to walk, Mi-hyun still carried him on her back. Mi-hyun seemed tired and started silently crying at a restaurant as she tries to keep Bong-seok from elevating. She admits to her son that she is tired. She later leased a big greenhouse in a secluded area, miles from town. She paid for the lease up front, but only had one condition. The property owner was never allowed to drop by. As she settled in the area, she met a lady butcher. They didn't start on the right note, since Mi-hyun mistake her question about carrying Bong-seok for judgment. However, it turns out the butcher was worried about Mi-hyun since she looked overwhelmed. She is a parent to a child with a disability and only wanted to help. This is why she advised Mi-hyun to teach Bong-seok the skills he will need to survive without her. After this incident, Mi-hyun started training Bong-seok to walk without flying. She trained him for months, tying him down with weight to help him stay grounded. She took note of what triggered his elevation and came to realize that emotions and weight were a big factor. Since then, she tried not to smile too often at her son and strictly worked on maintaining his diet. Change of weather also affected Bong-seok's elevation ability. Every time it rained, it became harder to control. Later, in 2007, she bought a house and turned the downstairs into a donkatsu restaurant. She tried her best to isolate Bong-seok from friends to protect their secret. This is why Bong-seok spent most of his childhood watching TV after school. He became fascinated with Bungaman, a flying hero similar to Superman, and wanted to be just like him. One day, he was playing hero with his friends and forgot himself. He ended up flying and his friends were shocked. One boy tried to do the same by jumping from a high climbing wall on the school grounds. The boy ended up getting injured, and Bong-seok was blamed for the accident. The teacher claimed he incited the other to jump. Of course, the teacher didn't believe the kids when they said Bong-seok flew. The only adult who happened to see him was Rae-hyuk. Mi-hyun was called to the office and she apologized profusely. Bong-seok felt sad watching his mom apologize since he couldn't understand what he did wrong. Mi-hyun tried to explain he is special and therefore has powers. She asked him to be mindful of those different from him if he wanted to be a hero. This scolding made Bong-seok sad, and he cried in the rain and nearly flew away that night. Thankfully, Mi-hyun was there to pull him back. Once she got him back down, she apologized and promised to protect him. In current time, 2018, Bong-seok is officially a teenager, and it is getting harder to maintain his weight and control his emotions. Mi-hyun acknowledges that it is not easy as his hormones are all over the place. Once in a while, Bong-seok still elevates in his sleep. This time, he hurt his nose on the roof. On his way to school, Bong-seok tries to wait for Hui-soo and the bus driver. Gye-do teases him. Gye-do thinks they are dating, but Bong-seok explains they are just friends. As usual, Hui-soo runs to school even though it is raining heavily. Bong-seok tries to watch her from the bus. Elsewhere, Frank is working on the kill list. Bong-young is the target. On his way, he nearly causes an accident with the school bus. He heads to Young-seok's secondhand bookstore and launches an attack on him after telling him about the kill list. We learn that Young-seok has the ability to siphon electricity, and he tries to electrocute Frank. Unfortunately, he siphons all the electricity in the building, but is unable to kill Frank. Once Young-seok runs out of electricity to siphon, Frank uses this opportunity to kill Young-seok by breaking his neck with a book. Before dying, Young-seok tried to destroy a picture of Jongwon High School. Frank picks up the picture and deduces the man in the picture must be Young-seok's son. He takes the picture and leaves Young-seok's body burning in the bookstore. On the other hand, Gye-do picks up on the strange static change while he is on his route. He starts to silently panic, as if he knows something is wrong. Once again, Bong-seok is late and has a minor accident after colliding with Hui-soo at the gate. She also ends up late, and Choi Il-hwan gives them a punishment to wash the toilets. In class, Ki-soo tries to bully Hui-soo, but Gang-hoon protects her. Later, Hui-soo decides to take a shower at the school since she smells from all the running. She asks Bong-seok to help her with his extra shirt and heads to the showers. Ki-soo follows her, but Gang-hoon stops him. Gang-hoon gets the horrible idea to instigate a fight with Gang-hoon behind the school grounds. Gang-hoon beats him to a bloody pulp and even breaks a tree with just one punch. He leaves a passed-out Ki-soo there and lies to Choi Il-hwan that the boy went home after claiming to be sick. Meanwhile, Bong-seok and Hui-soo get close after he helps her with his shirt. She finally learns his name, and Bong-seok tries his best to stay on the ground. They also go together to the uniform store, and Gang-hoon seems upset about how close the two are getting. At the store, Hui-soo tries to get a discount and shares her concern over how expensive everything is with Bong-seok. To help her, Bong-seok offers to ask his mom to help her write the initials on her uniform, but Hui-soo turns him down. As they talk more, Hui-soo realizes that Bong-seok skipped lunch because he was waiting for her. She buys him some noodles. Back at school, Ki-soo finally wakes up from his concussion. On the other side of town, Young-jun is worried that they still don't know who killed Jin Cheon. Woon-kyu assures him they are working on it. He asks her to identify the culprit and promises to personally take matters into his hand. Meanwhile, the news about Young-seok's death is announced in the daytime news. Ju-won and Mi-hyun respectively watch it and seem to grow anxious. In the meantime, Frank is looking into the picture, and Jungwon's school is in the caption. He gets another message from the anonymous number, checking if the target has been deleted. The episode review. Frank healed supernaturally fast after nearly being electrocuted to death. What exactly is his superpower? We are also curious to know what he meant when he said the list is never always accurate. We also need to know why he is interested in the target's kids. Are they on the list, or is it his job to kill them too? So far, the action scenes in this show have been well executed. The supernatural abilities come off as natural. Thanks to the top-notch series production, we look forward to seeing more. There is also a worrying doubt about Gang-hoon at the back of our minds. Is he a good person? He seems to carry a lot of silent anger inside him. It will be interesting to see his backstory as well as Hui-soo. Lastly, what does Gye-do know? He seems so tense after noticing the change of static. Until then, it's me, Mitsubishi, signing off.